Juliana. You don't have to face anything alone.
High Castle is a show that we're intimately involved in throughout the entire visual effects process, even starting in pre-production. The visual effects process on the show is very collaborative, interacting with the production designer, with the cinematographers on the show. We're entrenched in it. Basically, any big sequence, to a certain extent, takes all season to do, because we start concept work very early, and we start those discussions that we have with the production designer, with the cinematographer, very early in the process. And we might do previs for something where we render some CG elements either simply as a reference for the director. Sometimes we do live previs where they can actually look through the camera on set and see what they're pointed at, which is very helpful when there's literally nothing there to look at. The work is not all done at once. It sort of happens gradually over the process. You make a temp, you make a version for the edit, various states, but some of the big sequences sort of last all season from beginning to end.
It's usually not the case where we're like, we have no idea how this will actually happen. It's more like there's some target, and you have to work through a process and in your head and together with the team and with the team on the show, sort of decide like what's our best sort of bang for buck as far as methodology, creative direction, and each time it's a little bit different.
Every visual effects sequence is different than the last. That's one of the things that's exciting about working on a show that involves these kind of visual effects in particular, because they're asking us to do things that are rather uncommon. We do research on real historical military vehicles. So we said, well, in World War II, the U.S. battleships went on after that to serve and continue to be upgraded over time. We have to make those decisions based on what that looked like. We went down to Long Beach and looked at a battleship and took pictures of it and said, okay, well, this is what happened to the U.S. battleships. What would Japanese battleships look like? It's not the same as building something from scratch, and it was a process that we had never quite done in that way before. When an idea is first expressed to you, it's like looking at it through a little peephole. You're only getting a sense of it, and your brain sort of fills in the idea of, well, I can make this happen.
Yeah, and I will say everyone's brains on the whole process all have a different peephole and a different lens that they're looking at it through, and essentially the essence of the creative process is everyone eventually coming to the same idea in fruition.
There are things that are obviously going to be visual effects, like big wide shots of cities. Exactly, things where you could know there's no way you could get hundreds of thousands of people into a situation. That's going to be visual effects. There are some things that it's ambiguous whether or not it's going to be a visual effect or not, and that can even include things like gunshots and squibs.
Yeah, I would comment to say as a rule of thumb, and not just on High Castle, but on any show that we work on, if someone comes to you and says, hey, what should we do practically and what should be visual effects? Usually the first answer is, well, what are the actors going to be interacting with? What are they going to be touching? What are they going to be casting shadows on? Is there something that's going to light them? Like, the more you can build around that sort of interaction, the better off you'll be in the end, I think.